Hello, welcome to our 54th episode of our Adventure in Excordia campaign. Back from a 2-week hiatus, I'm your GM, Connor. And playing with us tonight are the fantasy-starved players, Karen, played by Pyro.
We've gone so long without a session, I'm actually Karen's grandson. Hi.
And Daryl, played by Norvin.
Those druids were giving me lip.
Silver, played by Tristan.
Good evening.
Katyra, played by
Mike.
Liv.
I have returned for you.
Morgana, played by Shane.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier.
Banned. I'm removing you from the game. Morgana Plier.
Oh God, liar!
And Zunkiri, played by Fergus.
Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, leaf of tea, and pentahexadoxanilate, also known as glucose.
It's a very modern witch. Last we left off, you all had answered the call from Katyra to make your way to Dilneater, the Shadowfell, to help her locate her lost friends. She has been spending these past weeks apart going out, surveying and gathering intel and resources to locate them and bring them back to safety. She sent up the call to you all after she had gone out and scouted ahead, found a route to get towards them, and upon finding the slight caldera that housed the gargantuan serpentine beast, she returned to call for your aid. Upon arrival, you all were filled in about the dangers of being out in the wilds of Dilneater without this protective flame of order. You have 2 lanterns currently, and a metric fuck ton of oil. You have the means to get there and back, or the means just to get there, and then I believe the plan was to teleport back after you recovered. Lanmirel and Mevon.
My friend.
We left off as you all had gathered in the small adventurers guild room that Katyra had been renting, with the oil, the lanterns, the map. And now I would like to go ahead and reveal to you the map that she has drawn out for you all. Now, Farus is the town you all are in, and it's just a little bit to the southeast off the map. Those areas that would normally be water are the dried up oceans that drop off extremely sharply and are home to creatures the size of deep sea dwelling animals, but fully capable of land travel. The skull and crossbones is very indicative that it is very dangerous to try and get near there.
But Connor, my square cube law.
No.
Shh.
Yeah, I've violated that plenty of times with Pyro, so.
The white
Square.
The white dotted line depicts the path Katyra took initially, traveling to a ruined wizard tower, to a temple in the woods, diverting here and taking a longer path to avoid a dangerous crater, to cross over a bridge into a hot springs near a series of geothermal fissures, up and around the long way to eventually make it to the final destination. I think you all got everything you were looking to get last session.
That's what I.
Well, hold on. There was one thing we didn't get that we were kind of not sure about.
Yeah, we're waiting on Shane, and I did send you a message.
Okay.
Okay.
Specifically, we need Morgana's opinion on the curse.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, conversation. Yeah, Connor. That one. Funny, haha.
Yeah, give me 1 second. So Shane, filling you in from last session, the curse that you bear is essentially a curse of immortality, gotten from an ancient sin. The most recent bearer of it was taken control of by the Master or Doctor of Blades, but he did not originate it. As time goes on, you'll start to have more and more armor pieces apparate and essentially fuse to you, gaining abilities with each one. And there were a couple suggestions they had on how to get rid of it. One of them is let a rando kill you and pass on to them, then resurrect you. You could go to a temple of the Grave Domain and attempt to give the power back. And there was a third one that was a more neutral take on it.
No, that one was when I asked if I could try and divine away, but then you told me that wrong area code.
Yeah.
Which then precluded my next question, which you wanted me to do in game. Yeah.
So speaking of which, on your all's trip over, as you all were gathering this information about the curse, Karen, you had a few extra spell slots.
Yes.
To reach out with sendings.
All right. Yes. I was going to reach out to some contacts that might have a better idea on curses than us, and see if there's an alternate way that doesn't involve Morgana's immediate death. Because I was worried that it would the way her core works, and the way the curse supposedly works would fuck it up.
That was the other bit of information for you, Shane. Is that because Morgana's powered by a stone that is the essence of birth, and is inflicted with a curse that is all about tied to the domain of natural death, there is a stress she's under constantly that will only grow as she gains power with it. And
which
Yeah, from what we've been able to determine, had any of the rest of us been inflicted with this curse, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah, which
tragic.
Yeah. Targeted. Well, it would have fucked with Katyra, but she wasn't there, so suffer. So, I've got 3 people I'm going to call up, but the first one I'm going to call up. I believe I actually texted who it was. I know the one was Crowbeak, and the second one was Ajax.
That was one of them.
Ajax, Crowbeak.
Third, wasn't there?
The third one was more of a tacked-on one in case the paladin I'm in contact with, the Dizor's
the paladin brother.
Yeah, paladin brother. Some okay. Just the name right here. Either way, he's more of a tacked-on one because he might have something else, but I use legend lore on it, so
Right.
If I have questions about it, I'll ask at the end. But the main two are Crowbeak and Ajax.
Who do you want to do first?
I'm going to do Crowbeak first because she's actually specified on curses, considering how the campaign started. So I'm going to call up Crowbeak and as quick as I can dictate what this curse is from the legend lore, and if there is a way to shift it or contain it within a different container than Morgana, as she is the most damaged by this.
So you have 25 words. If I recall, the information I poured into you all was at least 10 minutes long.
Yes. I have the Cliff Note version. Ancient death curse can only be via killing. I'd like to avoid that.
Okay, you've got
12 more words.
Thank you.
You strike me. My heart. let's see here. I'll add some specifications. I believe it was grave domain, ancient sin. I never got the information in words. I'm calling on memory here, Connor.
No, you're good so far. You're getting it right.
Yeah.
Connor, real quick for my notes.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the god?
It wasn't a god. It was just.
It was like an authority,
the archangel
like
of the grave.
Yeah.
Okay, that explains why I don't have it.
Yeah, more like a title, like prime minister or president. It's just the being who presides over the domain of grave was inflicted this world.
So, that.
You have 8 more words if you want to send anything else.
Let me count. 8. All right. Would it be possible to put in me? There we go. Yeah, 8.
Would it be possible to put in me? Zip.
Yes. I counted that shit. Oh, very small.
That's not what I was laughing at.
We know.
Deal.
Your response comes through.
Very interesting. We'll look into and get back to you. Perhaps possible to transfer curse without death, but we'll need to look into it further.
And I believe that's 25.
You know what? I could have just gone over to fucking Pandora. No, that's not very interesting. Can I see your mirror for a minute? No, I don't do that. I'm doing this on the side.
But
everyone's talking about having a random bandit murder.
You do feel that you gave her enough information for her to get her wheels spinning, and being a creature who deals in weird fey curses and stuff, you have a feeling that she likely would have some sort of jumping off place to start to look into it.
And the reason I'm going to ask Ajax as well is because I believe it came up that he was a knowledge domain cleric.
Correct.
You might have information too, so I will send the same message to Ajax, and then a secondary message that I'm also consulting other people. I'll even
send the same message, and then another spell slot just to say, but it's super non-committal though.
No, it's just like, in case they both have answers, I might just not take another one in case Shurs involves sacrificing my arm or something. There's some weird shit.
So you send the first one.
Yeah.
And the response comes, I have contacts who can break up powerful curses.
I bet he does.
Is there a reason you need this gone? Other than it's a curse? And then your second sending.
Yeah,
dangerous.
Second sending. Barbarian mechanic fucked. Her core does not mesh well. That's it.
The response comes, if it gets urgent, tell me where you're at and I'll come take a look if I can.
Bet. Alright.
But until then, hydrate.
Oh
my god, this sounds so stupid. He's a fucking robot.
He's also a robot.
He is! It's our son!
He's a knowledge domain cleric. What the fuck was that?
He knows that you should hydrate. That's our boy.
I'm not gonna tell Morgana to fucking hydrate.
Why not?
She's a coward.
See, anyway, what just happened? We had Karen got responded to by Ajax, and then we got to hear the Dez and Gas response right after. My son is so stupid.
My son is so smart.
Think, Ajax. Think. All right. Okay, that seems like enough for now. To wait for a bit. I'll hold off on the third option. I'll let them ruminate on that one, and then we can talk to Morgana, and I'll let everyone know that I sent messages to some contacts who are looking into it, see for any alternative options.
Alright. And I will, over this course of these 2 weeks, start rolling to see how long it takes each of them to come back with the response.
Okay. Now we may talk to Morgana, who's having problems.
Yeah. So, what really wasn't described in too much detail. As I described that stress, Morgana, you feel not too much of it's almost a familiar feeling to you. You feel like your soul is pulled in two directions, and there's this stress point inside of it that at the moment is fine. But you feel just this slow progression towards breakage.
I wonder what Malphite would have to say about this.
You have the flask.
On the way over,
I am summoned.
Morgana just sitting there at Malphite's feet.
Yes.
Is it possible you can observe this?
You spin around and show it to him. You'll see he leans down, pokes it with his little proboscis claw. This is very old. And tap tap, more my flavor.
Hold on, wait a second. I got a question. Didn't he rip her totems out earlier? Can you rip the curse out of her?
I can try, but if it goes wrong, she may go the way of the researcher that a little bit over here, a little over there, a little way over there.
Right, so we'll put that as Plan G.
Yeah.
Morgana takes out a little notepad, puts Plan G, then all the other letters are just question marks, just doesn't know.
She can spell plan, but she doesn't know the letter A.
She doesn't have something filled in for the other plans.
Yeah, it's Plan A, question mark, Plan B, question mark, all the way to G, and then it's Malphite.
He will answer that I may have some influence over this, as I'm tangentially related to this field of divine power, but I'm far down the hierarchy to be able to command it to do anything. Perhaps there is, of course, our mother, who created us, myself and Lilira. May have had the ability to alter it or move it. She was herself a very ancient being.
Would it be possible that the form of mother that we are able to speak to would maintain that power?
Perhaps the knowledge, but to use her power, you'd likely have to return both halves of her heart. And he taps the one on his chest and on your back where your core is, to her statue in our grove.
Morgana will go put plan E.
Morgana, for your list, plan B, levonorgestrel.
Son of a
Gesundheit.
bitch. I hate you.
Morgana will sit there with the pencil, frozen, wondering how to spell whatever Zakiri just mumbled to her.
I even rolled an intelligence medicine check to see if he would know.
I hate that I only know what that is because I work in a drugstore.
Damn.
I mean, context clues.
Yeah. So, you recork Malphite.
Milfight.
Malphite.
So Pokeball.
Mal, fight!
Use Earthquake.
Use death.
Super effective.
No. He's big and irritating, healing with splash.
So,
I forgot the music.
you're also welcome to put in anything if you'd like, Shane. I'm just doing some random ass ambiance. You should have the permissions to put more stuff in.
So we just put the URL into the top hit,
that left search bar next to watch together.
and does the overriders puts it in like a queue.
It puts it in queue on the right.
Okay.
Also, where's the URL for this?
In Excordia chat.
Ah.
Sorry, I forgot you were going to your headset when I said that.
It's between the Ken and the Cookie Monster.
Alright. So, you all gather your things the next morning after spending a night at the Adventurers Guild. You travel out to the temple that forms as the entrance and exit to the wilds. And Katyra is able to show you how to slip past the guards and onto the other side of it.
As we're kind of getting ready to set out, and Zonkir is kind of looking over his spell book, he's going to turn to Katyra. Katyra.
Yes.
A moment, if you would.
Of course.
Do pray tell, you've been here longer than we have. Any ideas to the kind of creatures we might encounter out there and how best to prepare for them in case of unfortunate conflict?
I mean, there will likely be several astray. We've done what we can to prepare against them with the lanterns and the flame.
Can they not enter the flamed area?
They can.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Liv doesn't know the answer to that.
They can, and in fact, a handful of them kind of flee towards it, or excuse me, run towards it.
Oh, great.
The Astray are afflicted with constant overstimulation, and it's a calm spot. So, in their madness, they kind of run towards it and then try and eat the thing that gives them some calm. And usually, the people holding it are in the way. Not all of them, though.
So sad.
And these Astray, could perhaps you give me an idea as to their capabilities? Are they strong,
They are
fast?
pretty much any creature that exists in the world then has a stamp on it that it also has the feature that once a creature can only be affected by this trait once per turn, but When they take
Like-
damage from the creature, they need to roll a charisma save or take a level of
Dire
exhaustion.
Wolf, Stray, or wherever.
I see.
And
And-
if you would die from this level of exhaustion, you become an astray yourself.
And do pray tell, which are the kind of creatures that have been affected in the areas we're planning on traversing?
Well, I did mention the very, very large serpent creature.
Beasts are the most common, as they are in the real world. Or, quote,
Yep.
real world. Beasts, more legendary creatures like dragons usually take longer to be corrupted, as evident by the topaz dragon you all fought that was able to fight off the infection for a time.
Yep.
Wait, that was an astray?
It was affected by it, yes.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was the shadowy stuff coming up. It was a shadow topaz dragon. It had been affected by the astray and gone mad.
Okay, I was not aware at the time that the shadow affliction was the same as the astray stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
it is.
Zonkieri closes his eyes, looks to his soul, pokes the cage. Ah, so you were the thing we were dealing with all along.
Didn't I? Hang on, I think I put a note. Yeah, there it is. I think I cast Scry at the acid of the session.
On what?
I think it was Katyra's friends.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I gave you the fingernail from
Oh yeah.
when Lanmorel clenched it on my hand.
It just occurred to me like, hang on. So I did do the oil thing, right? Yeah. And I went through the logistics and I scrolled up.
So you have a body part, so they have a -10 to their save. You
Yep.
have secondhand knowledge of the target. So it's a +5, so it's a -5 to their save.
And I think we said this was the night before. Yeah, okay.
So did you? This would be for Lanmorel, the one who's starting to gain these snake-like
Yes.
aberrations.
Yes.
I'm just gonna roll the straight d20, and hopefully it'll be enough of a determiner. And if not, I'll have to go look up their stats. Yeah, no, they fucking failed. That's what I was hoping would happen.
They're a bit focused elsewhere.
So I just conjure up a little cloud of red mist that seeps into the little crystal ball I have, and then peers apart and shows this thing's form.
So like the Wizard of Oz scene.
Yes. Yes.
Whoa, I just had an idea.
Oh.
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 We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll let that ruminate for a moment.
As you focus on the orb and
A very
feel
good
your
sign.
vision pulled into it, you suddenly open your eyes, glaring from the shadows in this small cave, and you see a dimly lit lantern similar to yours sitting there, and two figures next to it. One whose left arm seems to have been converted to this weird mix of a snake and a hand. The fingers look like they form a sort of jaw with fangs forming the fingertips. And it snaps open wide, almost like an emerald boa. And you see eyes on the back of the hand. They also trail up the arm. And you see just spines, almost like fins on a gator, even coiling around the arm. Reaches up and over the left breast and a little bit up the neck. And you see one up towards the mouth, almost two-faced style. The lips kind of separate and reveal these fangs. And you see they are in deep meditation. But the eyes on their hands continue to dart around and twitch. And the non-affected hand grasps its wrist to prevent it from flailing too hard. And across from them, also in meditation, you see... Oh, that would be the feminine Shadar Kai figure. And though they both have a sort of androgynous expression, the more masculine-looking one, who you would know to be Mevan from Katyra's descriptions, seems to have the fish-like sliminess and scales growing over his neck now. You see there are gills on one side, and you hear this labored breathing. as if you recall, Landmirel had been bit by an estray and affected, and then her warped hand struck out and grabbed Mevon's neck, and so it's spreading from his neck out. So he has gills on one side, but is still able to breathe, and it kind of spreads out in every direction, slimy, fishy appearance. But they both seem to be living. I won't say they're in good health, but they seem to be alive and in a trance to slow down the effect as much as possible.
Their environment, they
are in a cave with the entrance sealed.
Okay.
And you can see dust dropping from the ceiling as this large serpentine being slithers over and around it, sensing the barest whiff of this flame inside the cave and wanting in.
All right then.
But safe for now.
And I will recede from my vision, and I imagine Katyra is staring at me intently.
Yep.
Trying to see the reflection in your eyes.
Trying to see if the lantern is still lit.
Katyra, your comrades live. They are in a sealed off cave. And tell me more about this large serpentine creature you spoke of. It appears to be nearby.
Yes, that's how I knew that I was in the right place. I saw it when I first had a vision of them. It was what attacked them, and it's what I found that led me to believe that I had found them. Or at least was close enough to be confident.
Can Karen insight you? Actually, you know what? No, fuck that. Karen looks at you. Are you okay?
I mean, I'm very concerned for them.
I asked this because I've gotten a good look at them now. I could probably sending one of them. Do you have anything you need to say to them? In case.
I don't want to break
how
their...
much. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I appreciate it, but it's dangerous to break their concentration now.
Okay, because I just want to warn you now. I don't know what happens if they go full astray and then I try and resurrect them. I don't know how much that meshes.
Doesn't. You know that explicitly that once you
God tells me it doesn't work. Sorry.
I already know that.
Yeah,
Ilvian, lean down and grab my ear and let me know real quick.
My cleric is so fucking dumb. He told you this. Parallels.
I spoke to them before in the vision.
Well, let's get some rest.
I knew that it was always a possibility.
Right. Well, let's get some rest and we'll head out first thing in the morning to hopefully not get ourselves infected. So I have this, hopefully. And I sling the brazier over my shoulder.
Shane wasn't here for that either. I was going to brush over it, but they have imbued a small portion of the Order Flame into Karen's brazier of fire elementals with a strong enough Arcana check that he knows he can get at least one flame elemental made of this stuff out before the temporary rune burns away.
Interesting.
This is the Oshipa.
Fully expect me to remember that there's stuff I forgot to catch you up on. And during the session, you might hear, "Oh, by the way, you remember Morgana?"
Connor.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah.
I have another. Zunkar has another question for Katyra that probably you're gonna have to answer.
Please. I only know so much.
Do the Astray continue to count as their previous creature type, or do they count as a different type?
Or hybrid?
Liv, tell me your influence on this, your thoughts, your experience. I'm fucking with you.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder.
In most cases, yes, unless there's a very weird or broken combo or something that comes about it that would. Otherwise, like I think it's a ghoul that has a thing that makes its poison not affect elves. If there was something that like would make it an elf, or let me start. Unless the dual typing would cause something weird with their mechanics, usually yes. It just adds on a monstrosity.
Oh, okay.
In most cases. But they would still retain their original type, except for humanoids. Usually those just become full monstrosities.
And there's the caveat that gets rid of that plan.
Oh dear.
How dare you have dreams?
What was the plan, if I can ask?
Calm emotions.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, only works on humanoids.
Well, if they're not fully transformed, then it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
If they are,
I will explicitly tell you that would help. That
Cool.
would help them move around and not have to focus on staving off their curse growth or their mutations.
woohoo!
Cool.
And you all have 2 of the potions of purification, those ones that just fully clear out your Astray provided exhaustion.
Yep.
Yeah, those are for the full mock.
No, we have 3 of those.
3 of those, gotcha.
Yeah.
Shane, they have potions that cast a modified form of Greater Restoration that'll clear all levels of exhaustion if it was afflicted by the Astray.
Barrel of
Nice.
oil. Holy oil.
Karen also made a big fucking keg of holy oil to burn in the lanterns. Because they don't burn regular oil.
And who's carrying the lanterns again? Who was what?
We got, what, 2 of them?
Yeah, we have
Yes.
2. I'm holding the brazier.
Probably one with Morgana, since she's the one most likely to end up at the edge of the flame as a frontline combatant. And then one with
Tristan, maybe?
yeah, Silver, probably. He's
Yeah.
most likely to end up with the rest of the group, and the least likely to
Rome.
not just roam, but like get the absolute shit kicked out of him. And,
Fair enough.
help him out in the lantern.
Rude.
I mean,
Yeah.
fair enough.
The highest AC, decent health, and a plethora of good saves.
Yeah, and Flash of Genius to make up for the
Blessed genius.
As a reminder, Morgana, you remember them mentioning that these flames require that they come from this pilot beacon in Faris. So if one goes out, you have to relight it with a flame. So that's why they're burning 2 at the same time, because if one goes out, you have to have another to relight it. Otherwise, it's no good.
It's
I
just
see.
regular fire, and it's useless.
Worthless.
Liv, would you roll me 3d8?
I sure will. 2, 3.
Oh! Yeah! Big
7,
numbers. So that's
14,
bad.
20. Okay,
And no.
cool. Duly noted.
Here
So, Dark Ominous.
we go.
So, as you all slip your way out of the temple to the Matron of Ravens, a bastion of order set up here on this corner, this military base on the Shadowfell. You all feel there's almost like a veil. It almost looks like the entrance to one of those Elden Ring dungeons. This like shimmering dark energy. As you step through it and turn your lanterns
Last door.
you feel for a moment, the stray energy just kind of fills you, fuzziness in your brain, and then the flames just push them out. And you are able to step out. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the party token down. Can somebody roll me the first?
Oh, my.
First? Can somebody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to roll a d6 to who we start with, because I don't want to always start with Byro. Starting with Morgana. Roll me a d20, Shane. First day of travel.
You already know what it's going to be.
You already know.
Is in the chat.
We asked for it. That's what we're going to do.
9.
Yeah. It wasn't happy that everyone was praising it. It's like, no, you're not supposed to be happy.
We are the Mighty Nine.
No, we are not.
Yep. As you all are traveling, can you all give me a group perception check?
Ooh.
Nice short one.
12.
Let's see.
16.
Go, Gadget Varshi.
Gonna roll a 4.
What does Varshi see with her special eyes?
Oh.
What do your
9
bad
and
eyes?
6.
Perception. Let's see.
Oh. Damn. Essen.
I got 9 and 6.
Zonkiri. Oh, I get it now. Zonkiri, you notice something. As you are walking, you feel a draft of wind brush against the back of your neck. And you look over and you see there is a cave entrance that is otherwise out of the normal line of sight. And the path you're on now kind of switches back a few times, and you have a feeling this cave might lead to a shortcut, or it might be a dead end. Do you want to explore it?
Zonkiri will stop the group. Hold on. There's a hidden cave over here. And getting the group to kind of go toward the mouth of the cave a little bit, he'll kind of squat down on the ground, start looking around. Alright, before we see if it's a sudden dead end or not, look around for any signs of movement. Something might live here.
Investigation checks.
Oh, yay.
I have my eyes on you.
Alright.
Sorry.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's see. Investigation. Intimidation. Investigation. Boom.
Nice. 2 nat 20s. You all with the nat 20s and Dario, you all see that this place has recently, some shifting earth has opened it. It is entirely barren on the inside, and you can tell by the breeze blowing in and fancy geography things that this cave will end up bringing you out where you want to go faster than going the long way around, and safer.
Shortcut.
Shortcut.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel through the mountains.
Alright.
Much as I love that cartoon, I hate you.
Alright, let's go. Onward.
And that was directed at both of you.
Onward.
You all pass through a cave system. Inside you see the entire absence of any life. No moss, no fungi, nothing. Until you come to the other side and you see a thin shale wall. And you are very easily able to kick it down with your living automaton battering ram. And you find yourself equal to his running count. A day ahead.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So you all are about a day's out from the first secure structure that Katyra bedded down in, which was an old wizard's tower. Zonkiri, that brings us to you for travel table. Would you roll me a d20?
Alrighty.
Yes.
Debating on something. Don't worry about it.
Whether or not to engage the luck drive. I got you. Mhm. One more with pizzazz.
8.
An 8. Okay. As you all are traveling through, you come to a very flat, open area, free of woods, and the wind begins to pick up as you see, coming towards you from in the direction you all are headed, a dust storm has kicked up and is traveling towards you. It appears to be a massive one.
Uh-oh.
You understand that your options are to either bunker down through it, which will cost you 2 days of travel, or attempt to push through it, which will be a DC 18 con save for everyone attempting to push through.
Oof.
Failure will mean a level of exhaustion for everyone who fails, and you're unable to travel for that day.
So if one of us fails, we gotta stop.
Unless somebody can carry them.
Which entirely depends on who fails.
The gods gave you 2 hands and used them to carry your friend. I can respect that.
You have the skeletons, right?
Yeah.
They're immune to exhaustion, aren't they?
Yep.
Because they're eternally exhausted.
Eternally tired of this shit.
Unpaid interns.
So you all have about 5 minutes before the dust storm hits you all. You see an outcropping of rocks that you could hunker behind. And
Daryl eyeballs her ring.
We don't know how long. Well, the storm looks like it's going to last a day or 2. I don't think staying in the ring is going to be the best idea.
For me, I'm not exactly tough.
How long can you stay in the ring?
Me alone, probably indefinitely, but with you guys, not very long.
That's not how...
No, but if you're
I know.
concerned about your ability to travel through the dust storm, you could stay in the ring and one of us could carry the ring.
Oh no, wouldn't work that way.
Darn.
Let's just bunker down.
Do you have that wizard spell? The tiny hut?
Ah, there it is.
Or the tower.
Don't have enough time for that. Storm's going to be here too
5
soon.
minutes, yes.
Good.
I can give us time. Hold on. How long does
10 minutes plus the normal casting time.
a movable wall of force last?
An hour.
An hour?
Or 10 minutes, I think, actually.
10 minutes. So you can start casting. I can, right before the storm gets here, put up a wall for 5 minutes, and then we'll be able to stay in tiny hut. But tiny hut only lasts 8 hours, right?
Yep.
Okay, then yeah, we're just hunkering down.
And besides, even if we hunker down in the tiny hut, we'd still be hunkering down.
Yeah.
In the tiny hut.
But just, I don't like the dust, of course.
So, let's just head over there. Go ahead and start reinforcing the outcropping to make it safer.
Fair enough.
It would be best to avoid our circuitry being filled with dust.
You all feel the force of wind already starting to hit you as you all make your way over. Is anybody expending any spells or using any tools to try and reinforce this place?
Did I have that prepared? No.
Just make it a bit deeper so we can get further in there.
You do so. You take the topsoil and rake it out of the way and and use that you pulled up to kind of fill in some cracks. And it's marginally better.
Oh man, I have to do this. So, seeing the approaching storm, Zonkiri standing outside looking at it, hands on his hips.
No, not the hurricane, Dad.
Just smiling at the approaching storm, raises a finger and says, "But I can't let this go without some sort of recompense. Avada Kedavra!"
Oh, God.
He fires into the storm and turns and walks back inside.
I feel like Zonkiri was doing like the tornado warning dad thing.
Yep. Where they stand outside and they look and they're like, "Yeah, that's about 20 minutes out."
No, that was the joke about you know how Florida has a habit of people firing guns at tornadoes and stuff.
Hurricanes, yep.
Yeah, that's
they,
what's like.
They sure do, man.
You see a trapped, warped sand elemental just gets fucking obliterated. He's swept up into the dust storm with it.
Oh yeah, California is gigantic. Shit. Sorry about
You
Okay,
realize
back
as you're
inside.
walking in and you feel one more point of your kill counter going up. Like, huh?
Oh,
I killed part of the storm.
And Carrie walks back inside, Morgana just watching, pulls out the gun.
I cast a gun.
Don't waste your bullets.
And about then,
Sadly puts the gun back.
an absolute whirlwind of force blasting over you all. Your structure stays, but much like being on Pandemonium, you all kind of have to yell a little bit to hear each other.
You have presents!
And you all stay there, and you take your rests. You are, with this shelter you have, you are safe in that your flames are behind a barrier to avoid the wind, and no other complications come about for the next 2 days. I'm going to mark those off, unless there's something anybody wanted to try and do to try and push through on the second day.
How rocky is the terrain? Was this just stone?
Very barren and stone. You don't see any grass or roots or anything.
Okay.
So, just checking. We're on day 3 now. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Let me check a description for the next morning.
Yeah, you all get 2 long rests in, so feel free to swap your spells up. I know you're looking forward to it, Morgana. That's what you get for making the same joke every time.
No, that's not how Stone Shape works.
I really might I might have to overload on my 5th levels, you know. Just have the options. I actually do have a spell, by the way.
Yeah, you have commune with nature because barbarian.
Yep.
And
Commune with nature.
Speak with animals.
Who gets speak with animals?
Totem barb, right?
I thought that was the commune with nature that they get.
I don't have speaking with animals, tragically.
That's what the ability is called.
No, speak with animals is a spell. Commune with nature is also a spell. Isn't it?
Spirit Seeker. Yours is a path attuned to the natural world. You keep a kinship with beasts at 3rd level. You adopt this path. You gain the ability to cast beast sense and speak with animals, but only as rituals.
Alright, so now we have to see Morgana just like holding a scroll. What do you know?
That's at 3rd, and then it's 10. Spirit Walker, learn commune with nature.
Correct. Shane, did you have those optional ones already in your sheet?
Those aren't optional. No, those aren't optional. That's just base.
Oh.
Based.
Based?
See, Shane, he reminded you that you have mechanics now. He's changing.
On what?
Speaking of Pyro saying things,
Yeah.
can you roll me the d20 for the next day as the storm finally passes over you all?
Sure can do. Click. Yeah.
I need you to roll me a d6, Pyro.
Oh no. Not the
Oh,
natty
that's-
1d6.
4. Okay.
Well,
Okay,
math
now
on
roll me
you.
1d6. This is the last one.
Woo.
Is this how many dragons are coming at us?
4.
Woo.
Okay.
Oh,
Give me a 5-minute interim while I set up the battle map.
Oh,
oh
fuck me.
no, what did you
You
do?
see how many dragons are coming at us?
Looks like
You mean
it's
how many rugs I get out of this?
Drugs!
That was great timing.
There's the Merlin laugh.
I will return.
Oh, Gomez, you are so Eevee.
I think long ago I may have left off Morgana having Speak of Animals and Beast Sense because of the mechanical nature, but it makes sense to have it now.
It very makes sense to have it now.
Almost like the DM took that into account when filling in the blanks of your backstory.
Speak with robots.
Connor, you didn't know
Electronics.
that either. Don't bullshit.
I absolutely designed a nature aspect into her backstory to encompass for all the nature flavor things.
No, I
I
meant
may not have
specifically
known the
those
spell
spells.
specifically, but tomato, tomato. Oh god, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, potato, potato. Let's call the whole thing off.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, that 5 minutes is becoming 10 because this character is not in the compendium. So I'm gonna go to Captain's quarters so I can work and focus. I'll be back. Thank you for tuning in to Monster Creation Lobby. I didn't pause the recording and I'm now going to be providing a mellow ASMR experience with you. As you can see, I'm currently building the Atropol because I didn't realize that it was Moon of Annihilation. But
We're doing what we can here on the Dice-aster Children Radio. Making sure we put in our inline rolls. Bracket, 3d6, bracket. Selecting the wrong key never helps. So now we'll bracket, 3d6, bracket one more time. Now we're gonna do its last feature, turn resistance orb. Yes, this atropole is gonna have a horde of 4 skeletons thanks to your dear cleric rolling the natural 1. Now we're gonna move on to its actions. This thing has grabby hands that do 3d6 necrotic damage. It's not a good time. It also possesses a ray of cold. This one's a ranged attack with a range of 120 feet and a plus 12 to hit. This one does a staggering 66 cold damage. It is not fun to be caught out by such a thing. Next up is its life drain, an ability sure to make any player quiver in their boots. Now we add our inlines, erase the average, and bracket 8d8, bracket. Next, a little addendum that we're going to put this in, and we're going to put this wraith on the GM layer, and we'll see if it summons any when the time comes. Next up we have its legendary actions, and then we'll be done. First up is its touch. Once again, grabby hands, dead god fetus, ever a good mix. Now we have the one that costs 2 actions, use its ray of cold. Balanced because of how much damage that thing does. Next up, we have its big fucking problem, the whale, to deliver levels of exhaustion. Making those con saves or taking levels of exhaustion. Regaining that every turn is going to be brutal, even if there are only going to be 4 skeletons and possibly a wraith. Only time will tell how this goes. It is a sight. It is a huge creature. There we go. We have it synced with the atropole. Next, we're going to give it its hair. Or its HP, excuse me. Now we're going to give it its NPCAC. 7. We're going to update the default token in case I want to use one again. Now we're going to summon its skeletons. Now skeletons have an HP of 13 and an AC, excuse me, they have an AC of 13 and an HP of 13 as well. We're gonna copy that guy. Minimize that. Minimize. We'll keep the travel table up just for shits and giggles. We're gonna copy him. Paste another one. We're gonna take away his token authority. Strip him of his name. And then we're gonna duplicate him. Not sure why Roll20 is doing that jumpy bit when I post things, but prepare for a lore drop from Fergus about the Atropal. So we move these to the GM layer, and now we can move all of our players here. Nope, all of our players here to the mouth of the cave. And Morgana, and that should be the 6 of them. Now let's turn on dynamic lighting so that I can come to my draw ellipse and trap them in a circle as I would like to. We're gonna clear out that mess. We're gonna have them arrange. We're gonna turn on restrict movement as well. That's gonna be on the page settings. Yes, movement. Dynamic lighting restricts it. Yes, yes. And yeah, we're gonna add in our stray feature. Wow, we just saw the Warlock fully biff a fucking charisma saving throw, and the +1 wizard dunk on her. That's unfortunate. Let us rejoin the group.
Sup, Chuckle
I
Nuts?
thought we were just doing that for fun.
So, first of all, I want to say, damn, Endario, get fucking dunked on.
I thought we were doing this for fun.
Fun in
Doing what for
D&D.
fun?
How dare you make such an assumption? Certified Woo gaming. Sure.
Is anyone living
Oh,
pyro
no.
here?
What?
I'm here. Tristan is muted and eating his burger.
Alright.
Border.
There's Shane.
Hamburger.
Sorry, the music from the Watch Together was ripping my ears in half.
Burgess, you here?
Yes.
Cool. Move yourselves
Oh, dear.
inside the circle as you wish to be arranged. You all have just stepped into the mouth of the cave.
Let me take off the.
It is-
Okay, I am back. Where?
Welcome back.
It is more like an archway, but it is a small tunnel that you have to cross through to get to the other side. But to continue on your path.
Where's Zankiri's
Oh.
Skelly Boys?
So
You can draw one there, I think.
is it just this small circle that we
Yeah.
could see?
That is the place where you all get to decide how you're set up.
And then you'll reveal what the lanterns show us after we're set up. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna put the whole thing's gonna be lit up, but
Ah.
it's 30-30 or 60-60.
60-60.
Okay. And on dynamic lighting, I just set bright light 60, low light 60, and it does it. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know why I'm altering the light. It's going to be lit up in here. I'm just going to do the 120 on an aura. See. Okay, that's the whole fucking cave. I'm not putting that in there. You were waiting for me to realize it, weren't you?
Yeah.
Is everybody in position?
Yeah.
Yes.
I will remove
Yeah.
the safety bubble. Do not move yourselves. And GM layer.
I'm free.
Safety bubble.
As you all
Safety.
step in through this archway, you all feel a chill run up your spine. Karen, you cough, and a black sludge comes out and stains your hand.
Gross.
Zankiri, you ironically feel this electric buzz run up your neck and spine as you see this large cherubim-like creature in the cave begins to writhe. You see cords reaching out of it.
Oh, God, that thing.
What the fuck is that?
As you see the corpses of 4 different followers, skeletons, mostly in one piece, begin to animate and rise.
Can we put stickers on them so we know they're not Zankier?
Sure.
Hey.
I'm gonna give them.
Yeah, probably should give them a different.
Those are not.
Yeah,
So it's
I'll
like,
drag
wait a
them out.
minute.
The purple dots are the bad guys. As you see an Atropal, some warped divine fetus trapped here on Dilneater awakens as you enter its cradle. And
You guys just hear Zankirius' eyes lie upon it. You just hear him go, "Aw, it's a baby."
I mean, technically, yes, but also, no.
roll
This
initiative.
thing offends me on like 3 different levels.
That's why it was funny that the cleric spits up black blood in repulsion to the sight. Zankiri feels ecstasy rush over his body.
Not only is it a baby, it's a dead god too.
It's a dead god.
I just...
You may want to give a name to your skeletons. Well, my oh, they go on your turn. Never mind. Duh. Is that everybody?
No, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I just can't count. All right. And let me throw in some Shadowfell music.
Ooh.
Oh.
Unless you have.
Nice.
Oh, you put some in, didn't you?
Hey.
Does say gave 2 options for music.
Now, how does one? Is that how one does it? We'll go with this. As we start at the top of initiative. Actually, I think that at the.
Oh, is the music inside the game?
No.
It's on the watch together. If you scroll up in Skies of Excordia chat, there's a link before the Barbie GIF.
We start with Morgana at the top of initiative.
Should we engage the large one first?
Probably gonna want to smash the skeletons.
Alright.
Oh, and can Zankiri make a check for Cairn when it comes up to his turn?
For what?
There's something Zankiri wants to tell there's something Fergus knows that Zankiri might know, that if Zankiri does know, he would tell Cairn.
I think I know what you're saying. Give me a religion check. This is your
Cool.
favorite enemy. You know the stats and such. That it, its weaknesses.
No rage damage.
Sad. A 19 will hit and fucking obliterate it. These don't have undying.
No, I think only zombies have that.
Yeah. So you fucking obliterate it. As you see this like cult robes clatter to the ground as you smash it.
Womp.
That similarly there.
Okay, let me get the movement calculation. 15, 30. Morgana's movement speed is 40. So, step right there, and then bonus action, rev offhand chainsaw. That's a turn.
Skeleton's turn. They will curse at the new Roll20 UI and then move 30 feet to right there, or 25 to there, and this one is going to move over. I guess to you. It's going to move right here. Morgana does
AC 19.
natural 20.
Okay, 6.
And then I need a charisma saving throw.
Ooh, not a charisma.
You save. and you don't take any level of exhaustion from this creature. As you see these strange, you lick down the blade. You brace and shuck it off. Then the one next to Karen. That's the Atropal sheet. 19.
Just hits. Oh, no. It's above me. I think it's 18. Yep.
So, 8 piercing damage and a charisma save. You take 1 level of exhaustion, and you are immune to the feature of gaining exhaustion from stray attacks until the start of the next initiative round. Until the start of...
I can only take a...
Once per turn.
Round.
Once per round.
Turn. Yeah.
Refreshing at 20.
Got it.
I had a moment where I was deciding how I was going to determine the start of round, if I was going to do it by the end of turn, but I'll just do at 20. Losing time.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
These are stray skeletons?
Mm-hmm. They are resurrected by that thing in the other side of the room.
Okay. So they were strays, then they became skeletons.
There seems to have been some sort of cult activity going on here, and then the world broke, and their ritual got tainted, and so they were washed in radiation, and now when they're resurrected, they carry it with them.
They're Chernobyl golems.
So what you're saying is I can't have my skeletons walk off into the fog and give them this attribute.
Not if you want to retain control of them. But that'll conclude the skeleton's turn. Katyra.
Alright. Let's see. Those are the friendly boys.
Like the loop function not working.
Karen will just grab his arm and go, fuck!
20, 30.
Oh! Karen, at the slice you see alligator scales appearing under the wound.
How the fuck does that make sense?
Florida man, Florida man.
Knows whatever a Florida kid. A whack.
Bonk, dead. Shattered.
Bonk, dead. Okay, like it was 30 feet to get up there, so I have 20 more feet of movement. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Well, now.
Let it come to me. I'm gonna stay where I am at. I'm happy right here.
Cool.
That's my turn. Yeah.
Excuse me. Silver, your turn begins.
Okay, let's see. Bonus action, temporary hit points.
Nice.
And I'll help Karen out first.
Thank you.
Making sure sharpshooter is not on. So, bang.
26 will hit. Does 5 damage.
And bang.
A 9 will miss and miss.
Boom. Yep.
Alright. Anything else?
Well, I used all my actions, so yeah, that's all.
Alright. So, at the end of your turn. The Atropal is going to send a ray of cold. Actually, no. Its most efficient thing is to use its whale. I need everybody to make me a Constitution saving throw. Success. Fail.
Uh-oh.
Fail. Fail.
I do not have that turned on. Let me go turn that on
Success.
myself. Show exhaustion track.
Okay. I shall use a flash of genius.
Good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, those of you who failed, take a level of astray exhaustion. Karen, you are
Karen, yeah.
Karen will be
let's
immune to
see.
that one. Funnily enough.
Thank you.
I have a random animal generator if you want me to come up with one for you, or you can just say which one you want. I just wanted to put the gator on Pyro because Florida man.
Let me get back to you on that. I gotta think about it.
Yeah, stew on it.
We'll stew on it.
And then Zonkiri's turn.
I'll pray on it.
Cool. Zunkiri, as he's walking past Cairn, just heedless of the wave of, or heedless of the wailing baby, he'll tell Cairn, "Hey, Cairn, that thing, it's a dead god. Or, well, not technically a dead god. It's an aborted god."
Thanks, I hate it.
Well,
I hate it.
luckily for that matter, you can burn it away. It doesn't like radiant energy.
Noted.
And Zonkiri will send these Skellimons to go help Cairn take out the Skellimon attacking him.
Cool.
You go over here. Stab.
Obliterated.
As the second one, or as the first one runs around behind him, he stabs him. The other guy just kind of looks at him like, "Dude, share."
Dude, right in front of my salad.
He'll run over here in that case, and then
Right in front of my salad.
just shoot at the Atropal.
A lot of skeletons
Troll.
tonight. At 15 will hit.
Okay. For
14 piercing damage as your non-magical bolt sinks into it and does nothing.
Yep. That's what I was looking for.
Yep.
Alright. Zonkiri is going to make his way forward a little bit. Yeah, here's fine. And he will look at the Atropal. And he'll yell out, "Time for Plan B!"
Oh
No. No.
This can only end well.
Please just abort that plan.
Here
Alright,
comes
I need to make a dexterity saving throw.
a 10.
Very dexterous dead baby.
Aborted fetus dex save.
As you see these umbilical cords branching off of it in 3 different places, connecting into the ground where this like fleshy substance seeps into the earth. You see this disintegration fucking blasts into its torso. And just the already dying poison flesh just shrivels up into dust, blows off of it, and just matches all the dust on the ground.
Zonkiri just kind of laughs a little bit and just
Not the hanger.
I'm going to hell, and I'm taking you fuckers with me.
Yeah, you are.
I love killing babies. And that'll be the end of his turn.
And Daryl, your
Why
turn
are we
begins.
I look off in the middle distance.
Ilvian's looking back at you with a concerned look.
I'm crying.
Blood cleric moment.
Okay, so Andarel's just gonna float 30 feet into the air. And then, seeing as everything has died, she's just gonna look at the weird baby thing and shrug.
Ew. This may as well happen. Adult life is already so goddamn weird.
You have 3? Damn. All of them hit. 15.
Yeah, we're
25,
level 11.
25, 36 damage. Ooh, it is bloodied. There's this discordant screeching of nonsense fills the cavern.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. I just strangled the mockingbird.
Well, then.
As its turn
So
begins.
dirty.
It was. It was like greasy sand sliding across me. It was awful.
It's gonna move 35 feet to there. And it's gonna hover up. As those umbilical cords stretch and elongate as its actual body floats up.
I like this even less.
So it moved 35.
What are the cords tethered to?
There's these, like, flesh ground that looks almost like a pimple. Like that, the way the flesh reddens and has pus.
Yes, more body horror.
Connects into that and just pumping this
Strike
horror.
her down.
And it'll go up 15 feet. So. Yeah, that'd be 50 feet. Atropal is then going to use its action. Oh, well. It is then going to... two people who with an absolute fuck stick. Odds or evens in Dariel? Gotta hear odds.
Odd.
Ice coming at you.
No.
Counter spell.
It's not a spell. I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
Damn! Well, I got some 6s. So you take half that. So you take 13 necrotic.
Hey, Hills 7.
6.
The healing rounds up, doesn't it?
Round down. Always.
Everything rounds down.
Unless otherwise stated.
Yeah, unless otherwise stated.
As it looks at you and reaches out this little prenatal claw of a hand towards you, you just feel your essence siphon towards it. That's up to you, my guy.
Give that back.
Pyro, you got me fucked up!
Ilvian, bless this hanger.
No!
Which clerics
Don't
handle
do it
abortions?
again.
Grave, blood, or vengeance? It's a real question.
Morgana drags it up the rocky face to throw it down the stairs.
This episode brought to you by Dice-aster Children.
We're coming in swinging back.
This episode brought to you by Family Planning.
Yeah.
Unplanned Godhood.
God, is that the title?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is definitely Unplanned Godhood.
No!
Why?
We're all going to hell.
Put the un in front of it in parentheses.
Alright, carrying on with combat.
Your turn begins.
Okay, alright. So, as opposed to what you think a cleric would have, I don't have a lot of my long-range irradiant spells prepared, and I'm not getting within range of that fucking thing, the Spirit Guardians. Change your damn mind. So we're gonna go with the good old one, Guiding Bolt. But we are going to upcast that thing to 4th level. Because fuck this thing in particular.
Light on me.
13.
That's still... Well, it's a 1, so it automatically misses.
Damn.
But it would otherwise
Tragic.
hit. You blow the fuck up a stalactite in the back of the room.
It's my weird new gator arm. It's being angry.
It does the gator growl.
Shut up!
Like he turns around and looks at Karen like,
it's currently like the fucking hand from as family choking him. Just a full-on gator claws just choking Karen out. Stop it! Obey!
Snarl.
Anyway,
Let's see.
I'm not done.
Go ahead.
I'm going to scoot back over here. And that'll be it.
Okay. It's gonna use a legendary action. Gonna launch a ray of cold at zone period. 17 to hit.
Shield.
Nice.
As all the heat gets pulled from the air and it throws this icy siphoning power at you, you throw up a shield and it just splatters against it. Alright. Morgana. As you start your turn, is that post?
He said,
There it is.
what?
Damn. As you start your turn, you feel this negative energy flowing out from it. You cannot regain hit points, and you take six necrotic damage.
Okay.
I'm a little hurt.
Also, I asked a question earlier. Is this at the end of day 2 of hunkering down?
It would have been the next day. So you all are traveling on
Okay.
day 4 when you ran into this.
Okay, got you. Well, no need to hold back then, I suppose. And this thing's 15 feet up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could Morgana jump up onto it? So it is huge.
Let's give me an athletics check. Yeah, you managed to jump up and grab.
Morgana,
She'll look over her shoulder at Zankiri.
that's not an umbilical cord.
I quit. I'm retiring. I'm
God,
retiring. I'm leaving.
Sorry.
Garrett puts on a hat, gets a suitcase and a bullet suit. All right.
Where a suitcase just see ya.
And
His leg.
And word of recall. The third
Which one? Yeah.
That'll hit. Let's see. 24 plus 3, 27 on the first one. Second one is 25. This thing's looking rough. As you slice into it and just the flesh continues to peel open and rot.
And I climb onto its whatever is left of its shoulder. And I just hold on to its head.
Sure. It just is like twisting and trying to writhe around you and try and throw you off. It's trying to strangle you with its umbilical cord too. Gotta wrap it around you.
Useless notion.
The skeletons are dead. At the end of your turn, it's going to use its last legendary action to do a touch attack. Ooh!
6
Surprisingly
damage.
decent. It was a... Oh yeah, no crit. So, it gets a grab on its shoulder, and you just kind of stare at it as it's grasping adamantine armor. Katyra, your turn. You also, for starting your turn in the aura,
Yep.
will take
Hold on.
10. Nice.
holding.
Doesn't Morgana need to make a save?
She did take damage, you're right. Give me that charisma save, Morgana. Take a level of exhaustion.
Uh-oh. A 0.
That means I need to take one too, right?
You make a charisma save whenever you take damage from it.
Yeah.
So
It didn't like
Okay.
that.
you're good.
You're good.
That's Gucci fresh. Okay, my turn. Yeah. Don't think I could really get up there. I mean, I could probably jump that high if I do Step of the Wind, I think. 'Cause it's 15 feet up. Where's the jump calculator?
Don't forget to roll your charisma save for that start of turn damage.
There's a yes, I see. I was like, there's a save for the start of turn damage.
No, the
Not yet.
trade.
Oh no,
You just save.
I just saved. Thank God. Okay, let me put my stats in. My strength is 11. Put 10. Reach up and grab something. 13.2 feet off the ground with a running start. 16.2 for Step of the Wind. Awesome. So I can get up there with Step of the Wind. That's beautiful. Use a key point for Step of the Wind. McJump. And 2 unarmed strikes.
Swing them.
Because I feel like it's probably less likely for me to be able to hit it with my quarterstaff.
Damn.
I mean, like, I'm jumping on there. It makes sense for me to just kind of, like, bash it with my fist, but to, like, actively hold a quarterstaff, it feels like a bit of a stretch.
Yep, that one hits, that one hits. And because of your monk abilities, it overcomes the immunity to non-magical damage.
Yeah. And then...
2. Your bonus action, Step of the Wind. Anything else? Also, Liv,
no.
are you deciding not to use...
Step of the Wind it lets you dash or disengage as a bonus action.
Okay.
I only use it to double my jump distance. I post it.
You're right.
Monk shit.
You're right.
What were you asking if I had decided not to use?
The double scimitar blade you got from the...
Because I knew that skeletons are, that bludgeoning is good against bones. And right now I'm not using a weapon at all because, again, I feel like it would put me at risk of falling easier.
Okay. I was just
so I'm
pointing
gonna
it out
use...
in case you'd forgotten you hit it.
No, I remember I have it. It's at the top of my weapons. It's just right now, the quarterstaff from earlier was bludgeoning for skeletons. And the now is hands for gripping.
So
you use another key point. Flurry of blows.
Hits.
An 11 hits?
Oh,
yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. You already used your bonus action.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I see.
Disengage or dash is a bonus action.
I'd never realized those two were separate conditions.
Yeah, me neither. Good catch.
Yeah. No, that's why I double checked it, is because it doubles your jump distance no matter what, but it lets you be to take an extra action. Because jumping isn't necessarily a specific action. It's part of movement. There was 1, and there was 2.
Yeah, this thing's AC is 7, so as long as you don't get a nat 1, I think all of you hit with every attack.
Holy shit!
It has a dex of 5.
Whoa.
God damn!
All of its other stats are 20 pluses, though.
Let me have
it! That tracks.
It's a fetus, y'all. It's not exactly
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and have it make me a dex save.
You have a dex save? Oh, yeah, open hand.
Throw it away.
You did already see these as well with the Disintegrate earlier.
Let's go ahead and have it make me a dex save or be knocked prone. Yeah, that does not save. It is knocked prone.
It has a hover speed, so it is prone in the air.
So fucking stupid. But now Morgana has advantage on it prone in the air.
I don't think it'll last long enough.
It doesn't fall out of the air. I don't think being prone in the air gives ranged attacks disadvantage. I don't think you can be prone in the air if you get a hover speed.
It's prone.
Fergus, any insight?
It cannot be lying on the ground if it is not on the ground.
That's fair. So, you strike it, and it just kind of does a spin. As you hit it in the head, it just swivels around. And...
Spin! In the wheel!
And then, did you also
Prone
want to
is
try and...
prone and mechanically the same, even if you're flying and don't actually fall to the ground because you have hover or flight magic. Being
range
prone in
attacks have
midair
it.
could mean being disoriented, for example, tumbling uncontrollably, and it takes some effort to stabilize and get back to flying properly.
So ranged attacks have disadvantage against it
The
now.
hover tag indicates that if the creature is knocked prone, has its movement restricted, or is otherwise reduced to 0 movement, it does not fall to gravity but hovers. But it can still be knocked prone.
Alright. Melee attacks will have advantage. Range will have a disadvantage. As it is
Sorry
spiraling
about
ass
it.
of a tea kettle.
Cool.
Re.
Silver.
Re.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to hover in the air a bit
Google.
with my wing
prone.
boots.
Mm.
Huh? And wait, what?
Don't worry about it. I'm being a goof.
Okay, and and since my gun is busted, bam, level 3, of course.
Oh. It is on
So close.
death's door. If it had not taken that help from Andariel, it would not be alive.
Yay.
Cleric didn't even kill that
Oh
dead
no.
baby.
I'm seeing who's coming up next.
Valkyria is about to eat.
Oh god! The dragon's got a new roommate.
As you blast it through its chest, and it's like trying to twist in on itself to stop its body from falling off it, we start Zunkiri's turn.
No lie. This is the main reason I keep this spell prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
As Zonkiri raises his hand, or no, he raises his sword and points it at the Atropal, and says, "Come to daddy."
Did you cast him?
Google. Show his balls.
Oh, where are you?
Is it magic missile?
Yes, it's magic missile.
I figured. You fire out your bolt.
No, Andariel, don't counterspell!
It was the Astray hand. Trust me.
No!
Wait, but they can't access your spellcasting. Shh.
So this
Doesn't need to know that. God, mommy! Oh, you got it with a 2!
So, go ahead.
This as Zonkiri's pointing his great sword at it, a dark, flaming version of this great sword shoots out of it, connected by this tendril, stabbing through the Atropal, and you watch as its soul is, or its essence is pushed out of the back, crying on the spear, which then shirks back towards Zonkiri as Grim Harvest activates.
And you will see just this torrent of energy flow into Zonkiri. Zip, like the Dragonborn absorbing a soul. Just zip. As he looks up and there's just this shadow emanating, pouring out of his mouth.
Nom nom.
I now understood why Uther fell.
Spicy.
And Morgana, you go.
Not baby back ribs.
Get up, baby back, baby back.
No, that was a piece of veal.
Oh.
No.
As once it hits the ground, those umbilical cords start to drag its corpse towards that meat spot.
No.
How do you stop it?
Well,
Are we in combat?
I don't have a Vorpal blade, but I'm gonna try and cut it with my crystal blade.
Connor,
Let me attack.
I cut the cord.
Are we still in combat? Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, it's radiant damage too.
Oh, yeah. You know, you do that. You don't spend spell slots. Get in there.
You spin this around, and because it's dead and weakened, I'll let you slice open the umbilical cord.
Shoot.
As it lies there and starts squirting out the juices of whatever was under there. It then slithers, pulls that tendril back underground. And the corpse just...
Is there another tendril or just the one?
Just the one.
Okay, good.
And then its body begins to rapidly decay. Until there's just these charred black bones.
Well, that was unpleasant.
Yep. All right. Who got ganked by a stray juice?
Katyra raises her hand.
By the way, I'd like to give you all an opportunity, if you'd like, to describe what kind of animalistic mutations you all took on.
Katyra almost like she has little wristlets that look like they're made of raven feathers.
Nice.
Well, la-di-da for you, Ender.
I know immediately what I'm going to give you if you ever fail one of these.
What is the DC?
It depends on the creature. If something's there's an option on this Nat 1 table to deal with a much stronger creature, which had I believe the save was like a 15 or 16.
Damn.
So in other words, it's very difficult for me to fail one of these.
Yes.
Okay, so the only ones with a stray exhaustion are me and Katyra.
And Zakiri.
And Zakiri?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
And,
I have
Morgana.
motherfuckers start paying up diamonds.
You also
Karen.
Yeah. What?
It's only one.
As long as you are in the lantern light, it goes away like normal exhaustion.
It's only one, says the million-year-old necromancer. Fuck you.
Yeah. It goes away like regular exhaustion as long as you're sleeping in the lantern light. So as long as you don't run into combat tomorrow,
you don't have to.
As long as we don't get caught in the middle of the night. Well, we already found a cave.
You all could set up in here.
We already cleared the cave.
No, I had an idea for how it affected Morgana.
Go ahead.
The little, you see the crevices in her face plating? It's like bear fur coming out.
Oh, God.
Like adding accents to her face and her hands.
Like wicked sideburns?
No, like going up her cheek. Like you see how her plate like goes up.
Oh, I see.
And it just goes up like that.
Nice.
I just look at her bare sideburns. Anyway.
Zankiri has a single peacock feather shooting up out of the back of his head.
Phenomenal.
I love that.
I like to imagine that the symbol in the end is an actual eye that you swear you could see blink occasionally.
Yes.
Dragging along the crocodile arm. It's like twice as thick as the other one, so I'm just dragging it like Trindomir.
So he's a crocodile bear. Now.
So Zankiri's going to look around the cave, see if there's anything interesting.
There's old religious stuff in here. It seems to have been the base of some cult that unfortunately tried to apotheosize their god at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You'll see, if you want to give me an investigation check for anything of interest, you can.
Yeah.
And Dario will insist.
Yeah, I got you.
You can do it.
You assist.
Whoever wants guidance has it.
Nice.
Roll again. You
Nice.
take the advantage that in Dario gives you.
I have a level of exhaustion.
Oh, you're right. With a 27, you're looking around, And you see these people already put the horse before the carriage, as they had already drawn murals of their great success as they were going on it. And you see this, like, radiant, like, blood god they were planning to create. God of war, to crush their enemies.
That shit is mine!
You see that most of their reagents are spoiled, many centuries old. But you do find some of their scripts and stuff. So you can add a composition of Atropal notes if you'd like them. And it describes the process and the ingredients they gathered in a diary format. Though some of them seem to be lost to time, just being destroyed, you have parts of a puzzle if you want to take it.
Wouldn't this not have anything to do with the Tropal itself, because that was an accident?
It has the descriptions of how they were intending to create their god. And then you're able to piece together that it's everything going to shit that turned it into the warped fetus in front of you. So it depicts... Actually, with the 27, you would notice that this has archaeomancy, domain of blood motifs. It seems to be from a time before archaeomancy was removed, and was one such ritual to try and create a perfect being.
Okay.
So that is most everything else in the chamber is ruined and gone to the wayside. But you have a stack of papers that you're able to grab. And you all are able to...
Don't worry about it. I'll message you.
You all decide to take a rest here, as you gather it's a fairly safe place. As you recall now, there was you have a feeling that most of the Astray knew to stay away from this place to avoid waking this thing.
Oh!
So they didn't get absorbed by it, as you gather what some of these flesh spots might have been that it was feeding on.
Gross.
You all bed down for the night.
Yes, please.
You are totally fine. That brings us to Norton for the next day's travel.
Four.
Well, you all would be coming up on the wizard tower, right? Because I hadn't moved you all yet before Karen's roll.
Correct.
Yeah. So you all, instead of bedding down in the cave, then can come upon the wizard tower that Katyra described to you. You have your choice whether you wanted to stay in the cave or try and go to this locale, but to her knowledge, it was safe the last time she came here and camped out in it. Coming upon it, you will see... Walking through the wastes, you find yourselves... this tower is horizontal, lying in the ravines to the side. You see this broken path ahead of you, and this tilted tower forms a great respite against the elements, as you feel still some lingering magical element to the bricks that, when you step in and cover up the entrance, feel extremely secure in. And then a 4 from Endario. Did you want to explore the wizard's tower before you left?
Yes.
Give me an investigation check, because the last time Katyra was here, she stayed in the first room only, and there's an unnatural chill that fills the air in here.
Alright, going with Detect Magic. A little help from Varshi.
Yep.
Yes.
Vague abjuration on the bricks around
Cool.
you. And you come across a large brass door that seems to have pneumatic pistons locking it in place. As you're looking over it, you see an abjurative magic on it. It seems to be arcane locked. And with a slight tap on the door, you can hear that there is an uncollapsed chamber on the other side that is very cold to the touch.
Ooh. I wonder what could be in here. You guys want to check it out?
Yes.
Say that again?
There's
Gotta check it
a
out.
there's a chamber on the other side of this door. It's been sealed since probably before the tower collapsed. From what I can tell from out here, it doesn't look like it would have been damaged. I wonder what's inside.
Curious.
And Daryl will up her own detect magic and assist.
Okay, it'll be a thieves' tools trying to pick the lock.
Hold on. Because it's arcane lock, so I can dispel magic on it to get rid of the lock, or the arcane part of the lock. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Oh. Ooh. Hmm.
Yes.
Occurs to me that this might have been locked for a reason other than to keep people out. Daria. You wouldn't mind taking a peek behind there, would you?
And Dario, with ghostly gaze, you peer through this door, and you see there is a large, almost looks like an iceberg, with a humanoid figure encased in it. You see this ice scattered across the room, and this body looks perfectly preserved. Seems to be the mage of the tower himself, trapped in ice.
Can I see anything in there that would assist in unlocking the door easily?
You can see the hastily thrown down reagents from his spell, but it seems like just Wizard Tower. He flicked his wrist to engage it to lock. There doesn't seem to be any mechanism on the other side to try and trip to open it.
Okay. We'll inform Zankiri.
Ooh.
Oh, and his stuff inside is affected by stray things, except for himself trapped in the ice.
Well, what do you know? We're rescuing someone. We're doing a good thing. He better have payment. And Zankiri will look at the door, and you just see him ball up a fist, and he rears back as though he was going to punch the door, and you just see that shadowy version of him actually punch out and punch the door as he will cast Dispel Magic.
And it breaks.
Silver, we need your ability to unlock things.
Sounds good. Let me just switch into my thieving gloves real quick. And here we go. Bop.
And with ease, with having the others help you tell them where to hold pressure to engage the release, and boom, boom, boom. Those pneumatic locks open, and you all feel this blast of wintry air wash over you, and even the ground immediately just frosts over below you.
It's very cold.
As you step into the chamber, you see
Yeah.
the body, perfectly preserved in the ice, has a glowing amulet of a light blue color on it. You can tell by
Is the ice magical?
Yes, it seems to be covered in necromancy magic.
Which is Zankiri.
You can see the hastily thrown together ritual. Those of you proficient with Arcana can easily tell that this was some sort of quick experimentation to try and freeze himself. You gather in detecting the oncoming apocalypse and realizing somehow that he couldn't get out. Attempted to do the next best thing and try and wait it out, but did not have the ability to disengage at will.
He levistus it himself.
Yeah.
Alright.
Knocks on the ice. Are we getting him out?
I don't see why not.
Just gonna take a quick look around at his stuff first.
You see a lot of books that are just general shelf stuffers. You see his spell book is on his hip from casting his spell. If you want to give me an investigation check to look for any secret chambers he has in his study.
31.
Nice.
23.
Walking along, you're tracing your fingers across the wall, touching every torch you can, and then you find a little hidden stone that you lift up, and you find a small wooden box. As you, with Detect Magic, you note that it is arcane locked, but there are no other magics on it. Do you want to spell it and try and open it?
I would offer, but I don't know that spell.
You open it and you see a lead-lined wooden box, and roll me a d6.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. After he dispels it, he's going to check it for mundane traps.
Okay.
Because believe me, Zonkiri has enchanted boxes before with obvious, like, magical traps.
Mm-hmm.
Only to put, like, a loaded crossbow on the other side of it.
That's fair. Give me the investigation check, then. You feel confident there is no other traps on this.
You see, if he was properly paranoid, he'd have had this ready before all the apocalypse stuff happened.
As he'll open the box.
Roll me a d6. Roll me 60-20.
Oh!
61.
Okay, let me pull up the planar wheel.
Yeah.
You find planar tuning forks.
Oh.
Well.
Ah, shit. Here we go.
Terror.
Let me know when you're ready for me to start rattling off which ones you find.
Just going down to other treasures. Making a new category for tuning forks. Okay.
So you have Elysium, Carceri, Gehenna, the 9 Hells. 11,
All 9 of them?
13.
That was what I was literally about to say.
15. Mount Celestia, and Bitopia.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Celestia, Bitopia, Gehenna, and
9 Hells. I mean, this combined with our ship means we could go to any of those places, right?
Yeah.
If only they invented a similar thing at the end of last campaign.
yeah.
Fun fact for my homies, Gehenna was a real place in the world, on Earth.
Thanks.
I love that you say that every time that it gets mentioned.
Almost like I did a lot of research about it.
How do we fucking mention Gehenna?
A lot. It's D&D. It's like people who watch Lord of the Rings and go, fun fact, did you know in this scene where Aragorn kicks the helmet?
He breaks his toe!
Did you know he broke his foot?
I knew. I was like, is this going to be about him breaking his toe?
We all know.
It's either people talking about Vigo breaking his toe or Vigo buying his horse.
About Vigo Frenching Pippin.
As he should.
You want me to go over that list again?
It was Mary, maybe.
No, I was just getting the spellings right.
Remember in The Witcher when Roach's death was supposed to be funny? Fucking
Remember they replaced.
Remember in The Witcher? And then you stop the sentence.
All right. And Zankuri, after pocketing the forks, will look at the box, take it, and just kick it over. Just like kick it into the rest of the rubble.
Nice.
Explodes.
All right, now we should probably talk about figure out how to wake up Mr. Popsicle over here.
Is that wise?
He appears to be a human wizard in his late 50s.
Why wouldn't it be?
We have no idea who this person is, what his motivations might be, what his capabilities might be, beyond the simple fact that he is some form of wizard.
You did just rob him.
I mean, in that case, leaving him here would probably be a bad idea as well, yes?
I mean, he's been here for an untold amount of time.
And somebody broke in and is standing in front of him, capable of waking him up. What if this happens again, and it's not us?
Given the type of wizard
I don't think you fully grasp the fact that very few people ever do what we're doing right now that aren't in the order.
Can't believe I'm going to go here. What if he's a good person?
There's only one true way to figure out its intentions.
Or anything that would show his affiliation.
Give me a history check, as there is a symbol on his cloak.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Information. Let's get some.
Liv's the only one who can make it.
I mean, the tragedy of Dilneater is a well-known thing. I was going to give her advantage for growing up here and knowing histories of such. You recognize it as one of the many fallen nations that had previously existed here, and judging by his attire, you gather he was an ancient court wizard / advisor to the nobility and lords of the area.
He was a noble court wizard, but it's been like a couple millennia since then, hasn't it?
And gathering that the crown prince and heirs to the throne are not here with him, you gather that he this either came on suddenly and he did not give a fuck to go and try and save him, or
he's here by himself. It's been several millennia since this happened. So it is entirely possible, Zankuri, that the world in which we live now would be entirely incomprehensible to this person, and it would, in fact, be crueler to revive him than it would be to just let this poor fucker rest.
I do not believe that in the least.
I said might.
Also, in that case, wouldn't it be more merciful to kill him and send him to his afterlife where he can be with the people he knew?
Then wake him up and kill him.
Just sitting there contemplating this moral story here. They slowly turn towards Zankuri.
Can you melt the ice, Zankuri?
One way to find out.
Zankuri will start examining the ice to see what, if anything, he could affect it with.
You gather fairly easily that hitting it with just anything hot will weaken the spell. It has subsisted this long because there is no sun, it has been locked in its room, and it is a very unstable spell. If you just hit it with fire, mundane or magical, it will start thawing through the ice, and if you take his body out and heat it back up, it'll probably break the enchantment altogether.
Well, the only fire spell I have is Fireball.
It's
And that's through my staff.
I mean, if it's that simple, we could just use a torch.
Do you have Firebolt?
No.
No. We're not a big fire group, are we?
Not particularly.
I mean, I could walk around him for a bit.
Yeah, you're probably our most effective heater.
What I'm actually trying to say is, I have this is actually my only fire spell.
So
Walk around him, like I said.
Get those steps in, close those circles.
I mean, literally, the only fire spell I have is Fireball.
So, how close is Radiant to heat? How about Sunbeam? Does Sunbeam work?
Radiant, not fire.
It's not fire, man. It's a sun.
Give the ice super cancer, I guess.
I mean, it's a radiator.
Mm-hmm. It's a clever.
Would hitting it with magical swords at least chip away the ice?
Try it.
Alright.
Target a creature.
Connor said, "Fuck around and find out
Target your creature.
at your earliest convenience."
Look, a creature.
No, this doesn't target a creature.
All other
This
creatures
does.
within 5 feet of you must make a save.
Oh no!
I feel like we've gone over this with Sword
Also,
Burst.
the swords just go out and they dink, hit the ice and stop extending out from you. Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
Immune.
Immune.
Okay, so
Ignore the...
actually, is there anything metal that I could use?
There is a metal staff that is the guy is holding. Well,
I don't want to
Holding.
hurt him.
I say holding. He is frozen in place of being blasted back. So it's just in front of his hand, technically.
Zankuri will he'll pull out a pair of tongs, a piton, and a sledgehammer. Hand the sledgehammer to Morgana. Get the tongs in his hands. Pick up the piton with the tongs, and then look over at Silver. You're just kind of like gesturing with the piton, like, you know, huh?
I mean, I can do that. I was gonna go cast heat metal.
Oh my god!
Upcasting gives you another target, doesn't it?
What
the
you mean?
axe not do anything?
You slice into it and nothing.
No, heat metal upcasting just makes more damage. Which, to be fair, you might want to upcast it.
Okay, so I guess I will upcast it.
You hit the piton with it, and it is now aflame with white heat.
Zankuri will just like start walking over the ice and just kind of like holding it with the tongs like over like key areas and just motion to Morgana. All right, it's John Henry. This.
It's John Henry. This.
Hey, what do you want me to roll for that?
Strength check.
Athletics?
Strength check.
You bastard.
You spend about 10 minutes striking this in, and you have it flush, and you've got it in there, and you are getting some distance with it, but the piton just keeps melting through the ice and slipping back out, and you have to keep grabbing it, and Sankira keeps holding it up for you. You're about an inch wet through what is 3 feet of ice.
Wait, hold on. No, Connor, have you never seen how they split rocks?
Yes, but I'm also saying that it wasn't a great strength check.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you.
I mean, we'll just keep going.
Give me another.
It only lasts
Another.
4 minutes, so
No.
Unlucky.
You cast it again?
I'll cast it at normal.
I've set up
I'm-
my mobile kitchen and I'm just making food for them. I can do nothing.
You send in a crack of another inch as it's splitting open, and the spell fades.
Shatter would be dangerous right now, wouldn't it?
In the collapsed building, I don't know. Try it.
4 thunder damage.
Nope. The Underdark collapses. You want to cast it again?
Yeah, I'll cast it again.
And I'll cast Enhance Ability on Morgana.
Oh my lord!
My God, I was about to rage.
I think that was Shane talking, not Morgana.
Yeah.
Come on. One more time, Shane.
Good fucking God.
And the guidance from Karen, yes.
Yeah. Oh yes, Massa, you get my guidance.
That you hit it with a thunderous smack. The ice cracks open, and there is about a half-inch of ice now right in front of the guy's face that's left. Everything else.
Do I have line of sight?
Yeah, you've had line of sight.
I cast Scatter.
Post that.
I just pull him out.
Does it require a willing
I
creature?
think he has to be a willing creature and he's unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
Unwilling creatures must succeed in a Wisdom saving throw. DC 17.
Cool. Let me roll.
And
He's
considering he's unconscious, I say he has disadvantage.
You can
I
say
think
that all
he's
you'd
a
like.
divination. I think he's a divination wizard and he gets to use a portent.
I like the way he thinks. Natural 20.
Everyone in the room moves a little bit.
You knock over my
And
suit.
Daryl curses, walks over back to where the crack is, and casts Banishment this time.
Sorry. Okay.
He was born right here. He shifted slightly in the ice, dies.
He's
Now
dispelled.
push the ice. You have 1 minute to get it the fuck out of the way.
Now this ice is a blast. It fills the room.
We just need to move the part he was stuck in.
Now you can
Connected to the
shout.
floor.
Yeah.
Push.
I don't think you're gathering. What?
I'm pissed.
We'll just push
Would
it
I-
somewhere else.
Hold on. Wait.
Oh my God.
I have an idea.
Oh no.
It's not.
We opened up a bit, or we opened up like a tiny path to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So look at this. Oh, this is
Hold on.
alchemy chart here.
Hold on. Zankiri is going, if it is open enough, Zankiri is going to push Varshi through the hole into the hole left in the ice,
Okay.
Ooh. Hey yo.
occupying the space he was in.
Alright, so when he returns, he'll be shunted out in front of you all.
Yes.
And after a minute goes by, you see him start to...
I can end concentration early.
As he starts to reconstitute, you see Varshi's space is there, and the energy reaches out and... His frost-covered body is there, still in position. Just put him by a fire, and he'll defrost.
Why?
Bring him over by the stove.
Bring him over by the stove.
What? You never fucking warmed a cold house by opening your stove?
I've never warmed a frozen corpse by opening my stove.
It's not
We're
a
not
corpse
a
yet.
corpse yet.
Yeah, bring him over to de-thaw.
We'll drag him over by whatever campfire we've set up in this place.
Cool.
And Zankiri will be taking his book and staff and anything else that looks like it could be used to
The
harm us
staff
when
is
he wakes up.
magical.
Cool.
And the book is his spell book. He is a 17th level illusionist wizard.
Nice.
And I will send you the link to his book.
Oh dear.
Mhm.
Oh no!
The irony is that this this puzzle was just do fire damage, and it was still befuddling.
You don't have fire
I
damage.
suggested. Listen, I suggested a torch.
The torch would have worked. I'm surprised it didn't happen.
You said it had to be magic.
No, I said magic
No,
or
it
otherwise
had-
would have been fine.
Yeah.
I tried, fam. I tried.
I guess it was not communicated well then.
Unlucky.
I mean, to be fair, we could have just fireballed the room. We didn't want to just fireball the room.
Oh, I was getting pretty fucking close.
Ew! Why did you do that? What is wrong with you?
There you go.
What happened?
The spells in the spell book probably suck.
No, he posted it as like a message doc.
Ew.
I'm gonna post this in chat too. Here's up to
Jesus
6th level.
Christ.
That's just up to
Oh.
6th
Oh
level,
my fucking
Holy
god!
shit!
and there's up to 9th.
Yeet!
Christ, Connor.
I guess he has
What the fuck is weird?
weird.
Weird.
A very lovely spell.
Hold on. You remember that thing Talagath did to the ship?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Why the fuck does
That works.
Talagath have access to 9th level spells, but you don't?
Because
Yeah,
Talagath
he's-
isn't a copy of Zonkiri as he is now. He's a copy of what Varshi thinks is like the most horrifying version of Zonkiri.
Alright.
He had 9th levels out the gate. So those are all.
Why
the spells
wished
in that
himself.
book.
Wish he was a real boy.
So, gonna make sure we strip all of the components off of him. Any spell casting focus, spell book.
The staff
Staff.
was the spellcasting focus, and
Look at shoes!
you take the glowing blue necklace around his neck.
Give me your shoes.
Yep.
All right, who takes it?
Give me your shoes.
I mean, assuming I don't sense any like magic coming from it, I'll take it.
It's got necromancy like the ice did.
Oh, in that case, identify.
It is similar to a what's it called? The ring that you store your soul in if you die.
Oh,
A
Like a
full
mind shifting?
That's the one. Similar to that, his soul is trapped here in this amulet.
Oh my god,
Oh,
it's the thing
wait.
that Raina had.
Hold on, so he's actually already dead.
No, he's just stored in there. His body was petrified, essentially. And then when you defrost him, if his necklace is still on, he'll go back in.
So it's
No.
like Ranka's Ring of Mind Shielding.
Oh,
Have to put the necklace back on him then.
hold on, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Zonkiri's the one who did the identify.
Yeah.
Yep. What will Zankiri do?
what you got there,
Eat it.
Zankiri?
A snack!
Lunch!
A knife!
A smoothie.
Yep.
Smoothie.
A fruit gusher.
Zonkiri will look down at the necklace. And he'll turn to everybody and say, well, from what I've been able to tell, his soul's not in his body anymore.
Mm.
Who setting
Oh.
off fireworks? And
The fucking baseball field.
oh, well, his soul's not in his body. Okay. Can I roll an intellect or intelligence check to see if I would know even what that fucking is, or that's a possibility?
That what?
Storing your soul in a necklace. I knew a fucking transmutation wizard, not this kind of shit.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check. It'll be pretty hard.
So Zankiri, if it, do we need this guy or anything? Because I could just pop it back into existence.
No, I don't know.
Do you know where his soul is?
About to find out. And Zankiri will put on the necklace.
Uh-oh.
As the voice speaks to you as you grab it. At last, I can be heard. Well, it's been so long. I've been stuck in this unmoving consciousness, staring out for eons. I have longed to just talk to someone for so long. Thank you. So much.
Just to clarify something, Zankiri has to actively, like, telepathically talk to him, right?
Yes.
Okay, because the immediate thing that goes through Zankiri's head is, I wonder what would happen if I stuck this necklace inside my fast-forward box.
No. I can hardly...
This is a reminder to everyone that Zankiri is evil.
Evil!
As if we needed a reminder.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Who are you?
My name is Voflin. I am was the advisor to His Majesty the King.
King of
our lands.
Gonna have to be a bit more specific there, Chief.
If you don't know, then I doubt it still stands.
Right. Anybody here know of a cold wizard named, and Zankiri will repeat his name, which I didn't catch.
Voflin.
Okay, I thought it was Wagner.
Wagner!
We're going to Laughlin's.
History check, I would assume?
Yeah.
Guidance, perhaps?
Maybe.
I'll make another history.
I need a yes or a no, buddy.
I'll consider.
Oh.
Go ahead. Take it.
I'd be like,
Never
he's
mind,
from
donate
this
it. Fuck
kingdom
you.
that I remembered.
See, I boosted you with your smite. 30. There we go. Perfect.
Once again, one of those weird books that didn't fit in Abthar's collection. A book of legendary mages.
He
throughout
brought
history.
home and was just like, where the fuck I get this?
Yeah.
Here, you read it.
Had nothing to do with any of his research. Jesus Christ, those fucking fireworks.
They're going off.
Why
I
are
see
they
that
doing fireworks in August?
God damn it. Did they fucking solve World of Hunger? Like, what celebration is this?
They won a baseball game, man.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, you remember reading a book of legendary mages from history. And in them is described Voflin, the one such human mage, to a small nation on Dilneater. In rival, traditionally, it was a role reserved for elves because of how long they live, and the advisor position had made them more valuable than humans. But during an era of wartime, he proved himself by being a very fitting general, and led to a great many victories.
For a long ass time too.
Yeah. This is also, you gather, from an era before lichdom was really known about. You also recall that the end of this is that he was tragically lost in the fall of Dilneater, and stands as a testament to prove that anyone can achieve what they want, so long as they have the determination for it. It's like a childhood hero, like a children's book, almost, to you. Just, he's in there, this guy, he stood against the status quo and made a place for his short-lived existence. He's doing pretty good. Now you're staring at his body
dump.
defrosting. The irony is that he's likely outlived all the elven mages.
How much of this can we actively classify as, like, living?
Yeah, well, his hand's starting to defrost and twitch.
That's not at all disturbing.
So, Bothlin.
Yes.
Well, sounds like your country is gone.
It seems. Would you perchance be willing to place this necklace back on my body? I can feel it defrosting, and I would like to be alive.
I could.
Go
I
on.
could do that.
I'm certain you understand that finding an archmage that has been reportedly dead for a few evers is a bit disconcerting to those who find it. I want your word that you're not going to turn on us.
I have no intention of sticking around here, and I don't even know your name to try and take vengeance if I wanted.
No.
I'm so
Oh.
very sick of this planet and ice and
I have to. It's who he is.
As he says, I don't even know your name. Zunkiri just pipes up and says,
Oh, I am Zunkiri the Dead.
There it is.
a fellow wizard, I gather?
Yes. Necromancer of all, conqueror of Echo, Lich extraordinaire.
I don't know what that last one is, but good for you. Or really any of those. I don't recognize the cities or what a lich is.
Good for you.
To be fair, they don't exist.
Cool. That adds up. I see my
Wow.
whole left arm's defrosted now. If you could just let me on. I want to go away and be out of your way.
I much prefer people
I
pull
will,
themselves.
when I get up, I will just walk to the nearest town. Buy the steepest
Hold
way.
on. Not a good idea.
Oh, is there like an anti-mage revolt or something?
No. You know the explosion of energy that kind of caused you to be stuck like that?
Yeah, the spell was to defrost after its effects had passed over.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Hmm.
And it's been a couple millennia.
Oh.
It's not going away. And if you walk out that door right now, you will quickly lose your mind soul to the force that's out there.
Horrid.
Yes.
So, why are you here?
Yeah.
Vacation.
There's a pair of former co-workers of a co-worker who's trapped out here.
You sound so enthused about saving them.
She wants them saved, so I scratch her back. She scratches my enemy's eyes out. You know how it is.
I advised politics for 30 years. I get it.
Yeah. So, unless you have a way out of here right now, you might be stuck with us for a bit.
Well, I can plane shift with my staff, and I have a stash in my lab that I can teleport out.
Oh, where's your stash?
Unfortunately, those aren't going to work.
What
They're not
happened?
there.
Were they disenchanted, or?
They're not there anymore.
Oh, well, I mean, I can always just make more. My lab is pretty well stocked.
He's currently on its side, and if we leave, we have the thing that keeps the, I'm going to call it a toxic gas, from flooding this room, and yeah. So, how about we make a arrangement here? You help us on our way there. We'll take you back to town. Part ways, Abby to say.
Sounds great. Now, my body's about 85% defrosted. If you could just...
Yes. And Zankuri will take off the necklace and just kind of put it back over the body.
And as the...
Don't like the necklace?
Oh, no. He's waking up.
As the final bit of frost melts off his tip of his nose, a flash of energy washes over his eyes.
You were going to say something else.
Oh God, my body hurts as he's just lying on his back.
I imagine. Here, eat this.
What do you stuff in his mouth?
No, I hand him a warm bowl of soup.
He cannot move.
Alright.
There's a full body cramp.
Karen will feed him.
What flavor soup do you feed him?
Oh, it's
Flavor soup.
No, it's a cheesy, like vegetable soup kind of.
Broccoli cheddar.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't want to say broccoli soup, but it's essentially that. With
good.
a bit of other additives in there.
You orcs always were good cooks.
Don't worry about it. It's just great.
Oh no.
What did you just say?
What did you just say?
Well, you know, those orcs, they always have great cooking.
I'm going to take that as a compliment, and I'm going to let it ride.
Alright. You can't be offended
Over
by
to the
that.
side.
It's a good thing.
Katyra, having predicted before we woke him up that perchance the world that we live in now would be entirely incomprehensible to him, begins to chuckle to herself.
Well, you know me, Massa. I really like it.
No, actually, the accents haven't changed.
I mean, to be fair, he worked for the elves, so...
Yeah. I just...
He looks at Indariel. You're a funny-looking elf.
Karen falls over, shatters into 1,000 pieces.
Clay pot.
I am not an elf.
Oh. What are you then?
Alright, sir.
What are you? Don't ask.
I'm a lot less volatile than her. I would suggest you stop.
Oh, no.
What could be more volatile than an orc? No offense.
Hey, Morgana, get in here. Talk to this guy.
Morgana will just walk up to him.
This is Morgana. This nice gentleman has comments.
How much has changed since I was last on this planet?
A little bit.
You have been on this planet this entire time.
Got a point.
You're fun.
Gotta just stare him straight in the eyes.
Something
All right. Let's just quiet the mouth talk, and you use that to eat.
You just keep spooning in more soup to shut him up.
The scene from Anastasia when
Yes.
Bartok goes,
Yes.
"You're on your own, sir. This can only end in tears."
He's just gonna keep feeding him just so he won't talk at me and make me consider using my other vocation. So would you like some tea with honey?
He's done. He's done. Take him out.
Karen will make
say that to him.
Yeah, Karen just makes a thing of tea, very herbal tea. Would you like some honey in here?
Of course.
Get a little
Mind
bit.
sitting me up.
Oh yeah, of course. And I'll just like roughly crack him up. There we go. Into a 90-degree angle. There we go.
It's not your fault. You're not designed for finesse.
Katyra is like actively turning her laughter into like choking coughs.
Lord. As he just Karen pulls up a large stone behind him. Don't mind me. Oh, it's just to lean up against Massa.
He does look at Katyra and Zankiri and go, "So how long have you all been adventuring with everybody?"
So you don't know what a tiefling is, but you know what he is. Pointing at Zankiri.
How could I not recognize an elf? 20 years? I mean, clearly necromancy takes its toll, but, you know, an elf's an
And
elf.
Katyra's just, like, coughing.
Huh.
You want to put him back on ice, Sankari?
I can't tell how much it makes me a bad person to go and have these thoughts.
Are you not? Are you not an elf?
No, he's not.
Oh, I apologize.
Do you just think everyone who's not human is an elf? I've got fucking horns.
I mean, I get dwarves.
Oh, Katyra, you seem to have gotten your mirth back. How you doing? While squatting next to Katyra, lying on the ground, chortling.
She's just like turned around, hunched over on herself, trying to maintain her last shred of composure.
I'm gathering I've said a couple taboos. I'm having a feeling that I've...
Not really taboos, you're just sounding incredibly uneducated. Especially for a...
It's almost like the world in which we live now is incomprehensible to him. If only someone had suggested this possibility before we thought him out.
Morgana's just gonna walk up to Katyra, look her dead in the eyes. Is that really justification to leave him in prison for eternity?
I appreciate
he has a chance to
I
learn.
think there are better ways. I think there are better options.
Well, you two have your moral argument. I'm going to walk over and just sit this guy. Make sure this guy sit up. All right, a couple ground rules before you catch ire from someone a little less sentimental as me. I'll point at myself. Yes, I'm an orc. Imply anything about what I was designed for, and I'll personally feed you to him, and I'll point at Zakiri. Second of all, that is not an elf. That is a tiefling. I don't recall what he is. It's a very funny word.
Sarah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh my god!
All the shadows elongate in the room.
No, she would say what he actually is.
I would. I wouldn't know the name of the other one.
Intelligence score?
Mine?
No,
her jumps to the
I was like, oh no.
Katyra, what's your intelligence?
Mine is 14.
Remember how they are best friends?
Roll me intelligence check. Intelligence
Get
save.
Sarai. That's it. Yeah, get Sarai. See, that was me being not being able to remember.
You squeeze it out and you realize you said the wrong one.
Wait.
He's a Gith Yankee.
He's a Gith Yankee. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like,
Gith
wait a minute.
Yankee are the short, stubby ones. And
If you call it Githzerai, he might turn on you.
Githzerai are the short, stubby ones. The Gith Yankee are the space pirates.
I just remember that the Githzerai are the ones that are just, like, literally ridiculously fucking smart.
They both are.
Yeah, but I thought Githzerai were, like, smart plus
He's a Yankee.
That's what I said. Why'd he get pissed about it?
No, you got this because Katyra said Githzerai.
Oh. No, Katyra, he is a Gith Yankee.
So, hold on, real quick. Do we plan on killing this guy? Because if so, I have a funny thing to happen right now.
No.
No? Okay, because I was going to suggest in that moment of outrage where Zankiri just kind of whips his head around, he accidentally disintegrates him.
Nani, the fuck?
Instinct on hearing the word Githzerai come out of someone's mouth, he fucking lobs to disintegrate in a random direction.
Reflex.
I think I got mixed up. I was thinking too much about
perfectly killed the Githzerais. Necessary.
I fucked myself over by thinking about Bob from The Search for Grog.
That's a bad undead monstrosity.
I am a Gith Yankee.
I'm actually gonna roll to see if he knows what these are. He may have heard of them, but never met one.
I love that he's not even attempting with. I mean, like, for me, I'm like just a elf sub flavor.
Surprised he didn't say anything about Morgana.
He doesn't know what the fuck you are. He thinks you're a golem. That's why he's just like, oh, okay. Weird golems nowadays. He looks and he goes, those are the spacefaring folk, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh. Pleasure to finally meet one of you.
Forever.
It is. Well, I'm going to let you get your lessons on how not to accidentally put your foot in your mouth from the orc over there.
Not from me.
So is it offensive to ask, he turns to Karen, is it offensive to ask about your clan, or are those not a thing anymore?
Those are still a thing. I'm a bit of a different case, though, so let's just not talk about that.
Alright.
I'm not even from this planet.
I guess this is where we're taking our long rest while this guy gets up.
Yeah.
This is where we're gonna pan out for the session as you all bed down.
Yeah.
Like,
We start connecting one of our sending stones to the Anti-Defamation League website.
So, Connor, did I get any information in regards to fucking Morgana's curse? While I'm mulling over the do not be racist lesson.
Next session, you will likely get a package from one of your people, like a speedy carrier with some info.
Thank you. All right. So you see this? Tusks.
Also, Connor.
Yes.
Because I completely realized that having a 17th level Archmage traveling with us is probably a bit broken.
just a little.
You want us to just send him on his way with a teleportation circle?
Yeah, he was going to ask to be able to do that, and let you keep his staff.
Circles?
If you all show him that one, he's gonna just say, keep the spell book, keep the staff, take the necklace if you want. I'm just gonna piss off.
I mean, does he know a circle that he wants to go to, or...
None that exist anymore. You all know the one circle.
So we're sending him to our planet.
No, you're sending him to Faris. The
Oh yeah, Faris. I forgot. I know that one now.
Yep. So I'm gonna send him there, and then he's gonna go say like, "Hey, I'm an ancient human. Help," and they'll fill him in from there.
Help.
Sure.
I also like the idea that it could be just that he's such a burden to try and explain. Don't be racist to. That she's like, listen. The emotionless elves are going to take care of you. Teleport to here, where if we don't have the time or the energy.
Just quick jump down.
Don't worry. You literally can't piss them off.
Literally, it's perfect.
Just quick jump to Karen, slam dunking him into a fucking teleportation circle.
One more thing before you go. Just fucking.
No.
That being said, Zunkiri is going to take some of his hair.
Cool. Yeah, he has no power to stop you, and he wouldn't even notice while he's in this state.
Cool.
Why?
Scry.
Scrying, sending, dream, any way of getting in contact with him if it becomes useful to have an archmage that owes us a favor.
Yeah.
That is fair, and this would be a pretty big favor owed.
Yeah.
As a reminder, he's also from this time when archaeomancy existed previously.
Yes.
Which is why we aren't sending him back down to our planet so he can get fucking chicken-doinked by the...
He's about to go like, oh damn, my power magic's gone? They're like, oh yeah, but it's coming back. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Give it about a year or two, it's gonna be...
It's gonna be all the rage. And that's where we'll leave it off.